With the release of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, we finally have a full refresh of some of the most popular earbuds out there. I thought it was time to create a definitive, in-depth comparison and review of the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, the Apple AirPods Pro 2, the Sony WF-1000XM5, and the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra from the perspective of an audio engineer. Because of my background, you'll experience an immersive review with objective sound samples comparing the mic and call quality, the ANC and transparency performance, and the differences in sound quality. Make sure you wear your headphones or earbuds in both ears to appreciate their comparative differences best. Let's go through our first experience of an immersive review by listening to this first song amongst many others that we'll hear from various genres. This first song is from my friend Hannah Parrott. She's an amazing composer. This song is mainly string-based, so it'll give you a good sense of the mid-range, warmth, and how each earbud handles the high end of the bow rubbing up against the strings. The four earbuds can be divided into two categories, stem and stemless. The prominent stem designs are the AirPods Pro 2 and the new Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, which look dramatically similar to the AirPods Pro 2. The design and sensors are the same in most areas, down to the ear tip connection method previously only found on the AirPods Pro 2, which is quite the coincidence if I do say so myself. The Sony WF-1000XM5 and Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra are unique. The Sony is the most compact and discreet earbud, and the Bose is the largest. However, the Bose is easily the most robust and has the most secure fit. Its wingtip design makes it great for more active situations while still being comfortable. I have never felt like the Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds would fall out of my ears. Amongst all the earbuds, the least comfortable for my particular ears is the Sony WF-1000XM5. While it's more discreet and compact, it's packing a lot into a small space, which means it feels dense in my ears. The Apple AirPods Pro 2 and the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro are the most comfortable and feel the same in my ears. They are comfortable, light, and barely noticeable. This experience is consistent even while I'm lying down, and I know that wearing them with the stems would make you believe that they're not comfortable as you lay on your head on the pillow, but that isn't the case for me, for my ears. The density of the Sony and Bose earbuds creates far more pressure. It just kind of hurts when you lay down, and of course, I have to say, every ear is different, so my experience may differ from yours. In terms of interactions, the Sony WF-1000XM5 falls behind. It does support tap and touch interactions for your typical controls, but all the other earbuds have swipe gestures on both earbuds, which makes it easy to control the volume in both directions and on both of the left and right earbuds. This feature and capability are significant if you're the type that often uses one earbud at a time, like I do, to listen to things like YouTube or podcasts. The AirPods Pro 2 case is the smallest in overall volume and the thinnest. The WF-1000XM5 case is thicker but has a smaller footprint, and the Bose case is the biggest. This is quite mind-boggling since the Bose is the only case that does not support wireless charging. This is honestly unacceptable, especially at its price range, but at least they can all charge over USB-C. Battery life on all of them is about 6 hours on a single charge with ANC on for all of them, except for the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, which clocks in at 5 hours. Total battery life with the case is 24 hours across the whole lineup, with the Apple AirPods Pro 2 hitting 30 hours. You're pretty much covered for an average flight on all of them, which matters the most to me. But I wouldn't mind if earbuds begin to hit that 8 to 9 hour mark for an entire workday if they can, without increasing the size. Always a trade-off. But I would like to know, how many hours do you think earbuds should last on a single charge? Let me know in the comments. The AirPods Pro 2 is the most unique and robust in the lineup regarding features and capabilities. It has a lanyard hook and supports MagSafe, so it benefits from the magnetic latching on a supported device. When you do that, you'll hear a little chime because it has a little speaker built into it, which provides a lot of helpful feedback, like confirming that it is indeed charging or making it easy to find when you're looking for it. That brings us to the next section, but first, another song. In this next song, listen to the low end, the reverb from the vocals and the snare, and the sharpness of the hi-hat and the stereo spread from this wah-wah sound that moves back and forth, and let us know in the comments what you notice. Now, if you want to protect your AirPods Pro case or your smartphone, you should check out a case by Dbrand. These new circuit board cases are really cool because you can see a bunch of texture on the skin itself. So they kind of print it all on there, but even more cool, it glows in the dark. Super cool. And these were made in partnership with Linus Tech Tips. Pretty neat. So check out the link in the description or the QR code over here to see what devices they have cases for, screen protectors and skins and all this other stuff. And thanks to Dbrand for being a channel sponsor. The AirPods Pro 2 has Find My capability, an AirTag tracker built into the case that allows precise finding. All the other earbuds have a Find My earbuds feature, whether through Samsung's network for the Buds 3 Pro or Google's Find My network for the rest. But neither of them uses ultra wideband technology, so you won't get that extremely fast, incredibly accurate precision finding on the AirPods Pro 2 on any other earbud. It's hard to ignore the significant lead in quality of life features that Apple has packed into their earbuds. All the earbuds have a fast pair capability where you open the case flap and it begins pairing. However, outside of Samsung, they all have multi-device pairing support, and that means that Samsung's earbuds don't allow that quick and seamless movement between devices unless they're on other Samsung devices that are signed into a Samsung account. So a MacBook or whatever else on another device, it just won't move unless you go into the settings and manually pair to it, which is just a shame nowadays. To Samsung's benefit, it is the only earbud that uses Bluetooth 5.4 compared to the rest that uses Bluetooth 5.3. That also means that the Buds 3 Pro has support for Auracast, a tech that allows you to connect to certain broadcasts, like one from an airport gate that you're keeping track of. The AirPods Pro 2 also benefits from the H2 headphone chip, which allows it to have specific sound and microphone benefits on Apple devices, including connectivity. I also commend Samsung for having the most robust software feature set of the whole lineup simply because it has a 9-band graphic EQ. Most other earbuds have similar features, at least on the spec sheet, but the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro has a robust equalizer setting that allows you to get good sound from the native EQ alone. That's compared to Sony's 5-band EQ, which is, okay, Bose's extremely basic 3-band EQ, and Apple's complete lack of EQ options. The Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro also has a unique neck posture check. And then there's the voice and siren detection, which the other earbuds, they do it, but like in a different way. They all have their versions of spatialized 360 audio and head tracking, which I found that they only sound good in AR and VR situations, and the AirPods Pro 2 probably sound the best, but only in circumstances where it's a Dolby Atmos mix for music. Otherwise, I really don't like this feature in most cases. Also, all of them outside of the Bose have adaptive modes that move between ANC and transparency depending on the circumstance. Additionally, the AirPods Pro 2 has a great set of features for hearing health, from it being used as a hearing aid or even providing a hearing test to determine if you have any form of hearing loss. There's more that I'll cover with this in the ANC and Transparency Tests section, but I greatly appreciate how Apple is focusing on this because hearing loss is dramatically on the rise because of how loud people are listening to things on their headphones and earbuds. If you have ringing in your ears, you already have hearing loss. Please protect your ears. You only have one pair of them and you can't undo it. This track has a lot. Listen to the sub frequencies, the high end from the snare and hi-hat sounds, and the mid-range from the synth. Now we're entering into the part of the video where we go through a bunch of tests, starting with the gaming test, specifically the latency, or how long it takes for the action you make to be played through the earbuds. It's important to note that the only earbud in this lineup that has a gaming mode for low latency is a Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, and it's only fully supported on compatible Samsung Galaxy devices. Additionally, the UHD high quality audio mode, something that we'll talk about later, has to be turned off in order to enter into this gaming mode. With that said, here are the latency tests between all of them and the amount of frames that passes between the moment I tap on the screen and when we hear the appropriate sound effect. As you likely heard, neither of these are sufficient for anything serious or competitive, but plenty fine for casual gameplay. If you ultimately want the best low latency option for gaming, you'll likely want to get a DAC or headphone jack cable and plug in wired earbuds or headphones, or find a wireless gaming earbud that has a USB-C dongle. But I'm really curious, how much does gaming latency matter to you, all of you? Let me know in the comments. For this track, listen to how clear the finger plucking on the bass guitar is, as well as the brightness and clarity of the electric guitar and cymbals. One of the most critical features of an earbud is its call quality. So the question is, how good do these earbuds perform in various contexts if you were to receive a phone call from someone using them? Are they clear or are they garbled? We'll see how they perform on a Zoom call, a normal call, if you were to record a voice note or film a video on the phone itself, if you were in a noisy cafe, and a wind noise test using a fan. You'll be able to see what scenario the earbuds are in by looking at the label on the screen. Here's what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro would sound like if you were calling someone or talking to someone on a Zoom call. Here's what a Zoom call would sound like if you were using the Apple AirPods Pro 2. Here's what a Zoom call would sound like if you were using the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra. Here's what the microphones would sound like if you're on a Zoom call and using the Sony WF-1000XM5s. Here's what it would sound like if you were to receive an HD phone call from someone who is using the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. How do you think it sounds? And here's what a phone call would sound like if I were making a phone call from an iPhone using the AirPods Pro 2. How do you think it sounds? Here's what it would sound like if you were to receive an HD phone call from someone utilizing the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra. How do you think it sounds? Here's what it would sound like if you were to receive a phone call from someone wearing the Sony WF-1000XM5s. How do you think it sounds? Here is what the microphone sounds like on the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Keep in mind that this has the high quality audio option when you are recording on a Samsung device. So it's going to sound really good. If you're not using a Samsung device, it's not going to have this high quality sound, but I think this is pretty phenomenal. Here's what the microphone on the Apple AirPods Pro 2 would sound like in a quiet room. Here's what the microphone sounds like on the Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds in a quiet room. Here's what the microphone on the Sony WF-1000XM5 sounds like in a quiet room. Here's what the microphone sounds like if you're in a simulated windy environment with a fan pointed at you and you're talking to someone using the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Here's what the Apple AirPods Pro 2 microphones would sound like in a simulated windy environment. This is what the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra would sound like in a simulated windy environment. How do you think it sounds? Here's what the microphones sound like on the Sony WF-1000XM5s in a simulated windy environment. Here's what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro would sound like if you were in a noisy cafe environment. Here's what the Apple AirPods Pro 2 microphones would sound like in a simulated cafe environment. Here's what the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra would sound like in a simulated cafe environment. How do you think it sounds? Now, it's important to point out that the AirPods Pro 2 benefit from being used on an Apple device, and the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro benefits from being used on a supported Samsung Galaxy device. As you probably could hear, the mic quality with that setup for the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro is honestly just astounding. By the way, if you'd like to purchase any of these earbuds, make sure to check out the links in the description as it helps support the channel. This song has a lot of great reverb going on. Listen to how forward the vocals sound, and if you can hear much of the percussive instruments in the background or if they sound buried. This is where the mid-range can really bring out some of the instruments, and the bass guitar is also a significant part of the song. One of the most important features for earbuds is active noise cancellation, or ANC, and transparency mode. Much like the last test, we'll test each earbud in various situations, from a quiet environment, simulated noisy cafe, and in a simulated windy environment. Here's what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro sound like in transparency mode. How do you think it sounds? Here's what the AirPods Pro 2 sound like in transparency mode in a quiet room. Here's what the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra sound like in a quiet room in transparency mode, or as they like to call it, aware mode. Here is what the Sony WF-1000XM5 sound like in transparency mode while in a quiet room. Now this is what it sounds like in ANC mode in a quiet room. How do you think it sounds? Here's what the AirPods Pro 2 sound like in ANC mode in a quiet room. How does it sound? Here's what the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra sound like in a quiet room in ANC mode, or as they like to call it, quiet mode. Here's what the Sony WF-1000XM5 sound like in ANC mode in a quiet room. Here is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro sound like in transparency mode in a simulated windy environment. Here's what the AirPods Pro 2 sound like in transparency mode in a simulated windy environment. How well is it performing? Here's what the QuietComfort Ultra earbuds sound like in a simulated windy environment while in transparency mode. Here is what the Sony WF-1000XM5s sound like in a simulated windy environment while in transparency mode. Here's what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro sound like in ANC mode in a simulated windy environment. Here's what the AirPods Pro 2 sound like in ANC mode in a simulated windy environment. How well is it performing? Oh. And here's what the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra sound like in a simulated windy environment while in ANC mode. Here is what the Sony WF-1000XM5 sound like in a simulated windy environment in ANC mode. Here is what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro sound like in a simulated cafe environment while in transparency mode. Here's what the AirPods Pro 2 sound like in transparency mode in a simulated cafe environment. And here is what the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds Ultra sound like in a simulated cafe environment in transparency mode. Here's what the Sony WF-1000XM5 sound like in transparency mode in a simulated cafe environment. Here's what the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro sound like in a simulated cafe environment while in ANC mode. Here's what the AirPods Pro 2 sound like in ANC mode in a simulated cafe environment. Here's what the Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds sound like in a simulated cafe environment in ANC mode. Here's what the Sony WF-1000XM5 sound like in a simulated cafe environment while in ANC mode. How do you think they all performed? Did anything stand out to you, or was anything disappointing? One thing that I tested out recently that I unfortunately cannot capture for you to give you an objective test is using them at a concert. With traditional earplugs and even fancy ones like the loop earplugs, the sound tends to sound muffled and unbalanced with a ton of rumbling low end and not a lot of high end clarity. This bothers me a lot, especially as a mixing engineer, and listening to things without ear protection at a concert is a no-go for me because I care about protecting my ears. Trying out all these earbuds and using them in transparency mode is interesting. The Bose has a pretty aggressive limiter, which essentially squishes down the sound and makes things quiet, so that doesn't really work out very well. The Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro is similar, but not as aggressive, but still not great. And the Sonys don't have the best transparency, clarity, and definition, so it's not as ideal. It just doesn't sound as natural. So that leaves Apple. Now, remember how the Apple AirPods Pro 2 have a lot of hearing protection built in? That applies to using them at concerts as well. The Apple AirPods Pro 2 already have a great natural sounding transparency mode, so that helps a lot. But unlike the others, it doesn't dramatically suppress the volume in a way that makes it take away any musicality and enjoyment. It doesn't sound unnatural. In fact, it sounds really natural. It somehow manages to sound as if you weren't wearing earbuds at all, but at a healthy volume level. It truly sounds amazing, and I can't go to a concert without my AirPods Pro 2 ever again. For this song, pay attention to the clarity of the attack on the acoustic guitar strings and the forwardness of the mid-range on the body of the guitar and vocals.
When the nights get cold, sometimes when I look over, I see you by a fire with your hands out in the open, and I wonder if you're singing autumn song, or if I'm singing all alone. I must be singing on my own.
Now for the part that I think is the most important, sound quality, but it's also the part that I think is the least important, codecs. In terms of sound quality, Sony has the most dark and mellow sound out of the whole lineup, which is mostly consistent from what you would expect from a pair of Sony earbuds. So if you're sensitive to high end, good choice. The AirPods Pro 2 are solid with an unoffensive sound, but not something that I would describe as particularly exciting or excelling. It's good. The Bose is slightly scooped sounding with a bit of a low-end bump on top of it and a bit more air and clarity than both the Sony and AirPods Pro 2. And then there's the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, which I think has the best starting point, but a touch too much bass for my taste. As a whole, these are all solid options to go with in terms of the sound and based on your taste. But this becomes a bit more nuanced when you consider the fact that there's EQ. In this case, Samsung having a more specific 9-band graphic EQ pulls a lot of weight here, and that alone allows me to get the sound the way I want that I can be excited about because of the graphic EQ, and even in comparison to the EQ options I've made for other earbuds like the Sony WF-1000XM5s, I have to say the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro have the ability to sound incredible and what I think is the best sounding of the whole lineup with my custom EQ. The Buds 3 Pro does have support for ultra high quality audio on a Samsung device. You're getting a high quality sound transfer, but much like my discussion with DMS when we talked about the Nothing Ear 2024 and Ear A, codecs don't really matter as much as you think. LDAC is a nice idea, but it won't make or break an earbud, and the bandwidth differences between these earbuds are not dramatic enough to make much of a notable difference either, especially for most people. What ultimately matters is the tuning of the earbuds and how they were made to sound, or how you're able to make them sound with EQ. For me, I don't put much weight in codecs for earbuds and headphones released nowadays. They're mostly all good. So I wouldn't get caught up in the marketing for all that. We can just move on from that, hopefully. What ultimately matters is how it sounds, and if there are tools that allow you to get the sound that you want without manipulating the sound too much. In this case, the Buds 3 Pro comes out ahead as the best sounding because you're able to work off of a great starting point and you're able to manipulate the sound in a way that the earbuds respond to well. Now, if you'd like to get a hold of my custom EQs for a variety of earbuds, including the Sony WF-1000XM5 and the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, they're available for channel members. Becoming a channel member helps support all the time-consuming tests and the special equipment and just putting the whole video together and having it available to you for free. It's greatly appreciated and allows me to make more of these videos for you. This song has a killer bass line on it. Pay attention to that, the synth and the vocal reverb. So which earbud is for you? The question seems to become more nuanced and difficult every single year. It's a tough job for the reviews and comparisons, but as you've probably noticed, brands are adding more and more features that are contingent on you being in their own ecosystems. So there are a few points here that are more of a choose your own adventure based upon your preference or the ecosystem that you're in, more than like a broad suggestion. Hopefully that makes sense. You got it? Okay, let's go. If you're in the Samsung ecosystem, you should go with the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, it's pretty hard to not go with the Apple AirPods Pro 2. If you want the best microphone and you're using a supported Samsung Galaxy phone, get the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. If you want the most robust Find My capability, get the AirPods Pro 2. If you want the most comfortable earbuds, at least for my ears, I'd pick Apple and Samsung. If you need swipe gestures, do not get Sony. If you want the most robust and intense ANC, I'd pick the Bose QuietComfort Ultra earbuds. If you want the best and most natural sounding transparency mode, I'd say it's a tie between the Bose and the Apple AirPods Pro 2. If you want to be able to lie down with them in your ears, at least for my ears, the AirPods Pro 2 and Buds 3 Pro are the choice. If you want the best for more active environments, I would consider the Bose. If you need wireless charging, do not get the Bose. If you want the best earbuds to wear at a concert, the AirPods Pro 2 are hands down the best. If you want support for Overcast when it becomes more prevalent, go with the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Now, are there any other things that you can think of that I've covered in this video but I didn't really mention in this list? Let me know, and let me know which one you think would be the right fit for you and why. This track is a very mid-rangey and warm and soulful. So good. Listen to her vocals, the electric guitar lines, and the keyboard. Now for the big question, which earbud is for me? Well, that's more complicated than I thought it would be because, again, ecosystems. Personally, I think the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro sound the best, especially with my custom EQ. Going between it and other earbuds is a no contest situation. It sounds incredible when I'm using my EQ to the point that I feel like I'm enjoying music in ways that I just don't with the other earbuds. Another thing that's really important to point out about the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro EQ is that when you adjust it in the Galaxy Wear app, that EQ is stored on the earbuds. So whatever device you connect it to, it will carry over that EQ. So even an iPhone or a MacBook or whatever else. So that is really nice. Despite that, it lacks some of the benefits that you would get from the AirPods Pro 2, which I think is the overall most well-rounded and robust in terms of feature set and convenience, but it doesn't sound the best amongst all of them. It's just, it's okay, it's unoffensive. So my answer is nuanced. I picked the AirPods Pro 2 for practical use, especially when I'm not listening to music and simply working between my MacBook and iPhone or whatever Apple device that I may have on me. But when I want to enjoy music, I use the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Conveniently, I carry both an iPhone and whatever Android phone I'm reviewing at the time, so I try to use the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro a lot, especially because EQ carries over to even an iPhone. So I do this a lot, especially on flights, as listening to music on a long flight with them is just a delight. It sounds so dang good, and the ANC is solid on a plane, so it works out. For this song, pay attention to the high end of the cymbals, the kick drums attack, and the bass guitars warm.
With nothing to do, summer, loving, give me something. I'm about to lose my mind. 'Cause when I see you, I really think I need you. Every single summertime. And all the seasons in between. Well, they can try and mess with me, but I can tell you when the feeling's right, 'cause it feels just like.
So what are your thoughts on my choices? I'd love to know what you think, and if you'd like to pick up any of these earbuds, check out the links in the description as they help support the channel. And make sure you uninstall Honey so they don't steal my affiliate commission. This video was made possible by viewers like you. There is only one sponsor, which is dbrand, and this video has no brand approval, review, or say, or any control in this video. All the earbuds were purchased by me outside of the Sony WF-1000XM5s, which were provided to me by Sony last year. Thanks for watching This Is Tech Today. Until next time.